All right, now we'll look at the ambiguous case where you have a side, and an angle. So you could have three options for this one. You could have no triangle, you can have one triangle, or you could have two triangles. Okay. Now, here's your one triangle, or sorry, your no triangle. Here's your one triangle, right here and here, right triangle and one triangle. And here's your two triangles. Now, you will get this the day of the test, and it's the easiest way to figure out the ambiguous case. Okay. And then also, this is for an acute angle, and you also have one for an obtuse angle. Okay. So the acute angle has the three options: the no triangle, the one triangle, or the two triangles. The obtuse angle has only two options. It's either no triangle or it's one triangle. Okay. And you will get this list right here for the acute and for the obtuse angle. Okay. So how you set this up is, so they gave you a side, and an angle. So here's your side, here's your side, here's your angle. Right here, and right here. So side 1 is always opposite the given acute angle. So here's your given acute angle, opposite, there's side 1. Side 2 is always the other given side. Now H is going to be important here. It's going to help us decide which case do we have. So you're comparing a side to H here, okay? So H is going to be between side 1 and side 2. Here's side 1, here's side 2. H is right between those two. To figure out what H is, that's going to be side 2 times sine of the given acute angle. Okay. Next, what you're going to do is compare side 1, always opposite of the given acute angle, to H. Okay. If side 1 is larger than H, then compare side 1 to side 2. And then you have all these cases down here. If side 1 is smaller than H, no triangle. If side 1 is equal to H, one right triangle. If side 1 is larger than H and side 1 is larger or equal to side 2, one triangle. If side 1 is larger than H and side 1 is smaller than side 2, then two triangles. Alright, so let's start with this one. B is 55, angle B is 55, side B is 8.94, and side A is 25.1. So we label our triangle ABC, and then we list it according to the information they give us. Alright, so they gave us 55, which that's an acute angle, so I could have no triangle, one triangle, or two triangles. Opposite the given angle, so you could say this is the given acute angle. Opposite of that, this is side number 1, just like we have right here. Okay, opposite the given acute angle, side 1. The other side is just side 2. So this is side number 2. Okay. Now H is going to go between side 1 and side 2. So we'll start at C and go towards the bottom of side C. Okay. So it's between these two right here. Now we need to figure out what H is. And it says that H is side 2 times the sine of the given acute angle. So H is side number 2 times the sine of the given acute angle. Okay, so that's going to be 25.1 times sine of 55 degrees. Okay, now when you plug this into your calculator, you should get 20.56. All right. Then it says, next compare side 1 to H. Okay, so we've got side 1 is 8.94. So that's my side 1. I'm going to compare that to H, which H is 20.56. And we see that H is much bigger. Oops, wrong way. H is much bigger than the 8.94. Okay, so we go back. If side 1 is larger than H, and we just said, nope, it's not. Okay, we just said side 1 is less than H. Okay, so side 1 is not larger than H, so we're not going to compare side 1 to side 2. If side 1 is smaller than H, that's what we have right now, no triangle. So the answer to this one is no triangle. And that's it for that one. If we look at this one, okay, so here's my given information. They gave me one angle, which was 55.3, so it's another acute angle, so I could have no triangle, one triangle, or two triangles. And then, so I need to write my 55.3 degrees right here. Opposite of that, this is side number 1, which means this is side number 2. Okay, so then to find H, that's going to be side number 2 times sine of the given angle. I'll just say GA, given acute angle. So this is going to be 24.9 times sine of 55.3. Okay, so that will give me 20.47. Okay, then it says, next compare side 1 to side H, or just H. So if we got side number 1 and H, side 1 is 22.8 and H is 20.47. Okay, so this time side 1 is bigger than side H. Okay, if side 1 is larger than H, then compare side 1 to side 2. Okay, well then side number 1 to side number 2. Side number 1 is at 22.8. Side number 2 is at 24.9. Okay, side 2 is bigger than side 1. All right, so if side 1 is smaller than H, nope, we didn't have that. If side 1 is equal to H, didn't have that either. If side 1 is larger than H, yes. And side 1 is larger or equal to side 2. Well, no, we said that side 2 is bigger than side 1. Okay, if side 1 is larger than H, yes. And side 1 is smaller than side 2, yeah, because side 2 is bigger than side 1, we will have two triangles. Okay, so we will have two completely different triangles based on this information that they gave us right here. All right, so I'm going to erase this part right here, and then we're going to find our first triangle. So first triangle. Okay, so I need to use the law of sine. So A over sine of A is equal to B over sine of B, which is equal to C over sine of C. And I'm using the law of sine here because I have a side-side angle case. Okay, I'm going to plug in what I know. 22.8 over sine of 55.3, and then 24.9 over sine of B, and C over sine of C. Okay, so the only thing I can solve for here, if I set this equation to this equation, or this expression to this expression, then I'm going to have one equation and two unknowns, and I can't solve that. So I need to set this expression right here to this one and solve for b first. So this is going to be 22.8 over sine of 55.3, which is equal to 24.9 over sine of b. I'm going to cross multiply. So 22.8 times sine of b is equal to 24.9 times sine of 55.3. I'm going to divide both sides by that 22.8. So that gives me sine of b is equal to 24.9 sine of 55.3 all over 28.8 or 22.8. But I don't want sine of b. I need just b. So I'm going to move sine over, and it's going to become the inverse of sine of this whole thing. 24.9 times sine of 55.3 all over 22.8. Okay. Now when you plug this into your calculator, you should get 63.9 degrees for B. Okay, so now I've got 55.3 for A and 63.9 for B. I can go ahead and find C. If I add these two up and then subtract from 180. Okay, so if we got 55.3 plus 63.9 plus C equals 180, that's going to give you 119.2 plus C equal to 180. So C will be 180 minus 119.2, or the same thing as 60.0 degrees. Okay. So now, the last thing I need to do is find side C. That's the last thing I need to do. Okay, so we're going to use law of sine again. Plug in everything I know. So I know that 22.8 over sine of 55.3 is equal to 24.9 over sine of 63.9, which is equal to C over sine of 60.8. Okay, now I have a couple options here. And the things that I have calculated myself, I'm going to put them in parentheses. So I found that one, and I found that one. The rest of this information was given to me. So I could set this expression equal to this expression, or I could set this expression equal to this expression. I'm going to go with the first option just because I calculated this number right here, and if I got it wrong, then that's going to give me an incorrect answer for C. This right here was the information that was given to me, so I didn't calculate anything there. So I'm going to set those two equal to each other. But if all your calculations are correct, then you could set either one equal to C over sine of 60.8, and it'll come out to the right answer. But just in case there was a mistake, I'm going to go with the one that they gave me the information already. So I'm going to do 22.8 over sine of 55.3 is equal to C over sine of 60.8, cross multiply. So that's going to be C times sine of 55.3 is equal to 22.8 times sine of 60.8 degrees. Divide both sides by the sine of 55.3. Okay, so C is equal to 22.8 times sine of 60.8 all over sine of 55.3 degrees. Okay, and when we plug this into our calculator, we should get 24.2, and they were using feet. Okay, so for the first That is just for the first triangle, and then we'll look at how to find the second triangle.